So we are going to go see where everybody's from in the audience. So come on. Morning, y'all. We're emceeing the online audience. So I'd like everybody to just give a little wave to our online farmers and friends of ag. Wondering where everybody's from. Where are you from? Ohio. Whereabouts? Sir. No kidding.
Yes, outside. Can't tell.
I couldn't tell.
Definitely not in the voice. Definitely
Thank you
not.
so much for joining us.
Let's see. Let's get the guy in the back row back here. Henry
Mediapolis,
County. Glad you're here.
an hour from here.
In Iowa.
Mediapolis, not Minneapolis.
Thank you for the correction. Are you here? Are you farmer? Yeah. All right, where are you from? Minneapolis. Ah, I see. You must have come with him. Huh?
So Matthew, what do you hope to learn today? Lunch. Okay. And lunch is at noon. That's my favorite part of the day too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Matthew, thanks for being here. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be able to keep this going.
Okay, that's great. Are you part of your local FFA?
Not yet. A few years ago.
Very good. Stick with it, buddy. That's going to take you places. You're going to learn things on the farm and in that program that you'll take with you the whole rest of your life. Good on you. Good on you. Welcome, everybody. Where are you guys from?
Hey, my name is John Norwood.
Polk County, Iowa.
Iowa, correct.
Welcome, welcome. These guys look familiar. We got some guests of honor in the house here. What's your name, sir?
Ron Gauger.
I'm Joyce Gauger. We're Mitchell's grandparents.
Oh, thank you so much for being here and supporting this whole effort. It is so great. So good to see you guys here. You got to be proud of this, huh? Oh,
Hey, later we're
wonderful.
gonna need some dirt. Okay, we're gonna need some secrets about Mitchell.
That's
He's
right.
always beating us up. All right, so we'll be catching up.
And when we say dirt, we don't mean soil. Okay?
That's right. That's right. Hey, you know Dan up here? He looks like he wants to talk.
Dan Mahoney. I'm from Williamsburg, Iowa.
Welcome, welcome. We got lots of local Iowa folks.
All right, let's keep going here. This guy, I think he wants to talk. I can see it in his face.
I'm a Michigan girl.
I guess
Welcome.
Border Patrol wasn't open for you two.
It's not Canada.
Oh, that's right.
Welcome, you guys. Where are you from, sir?
Iowa State.
Oh. I'm a Sparty. But at least we have something in common, right? No, we all hate U of M, right? Go green.
All right, let's go on down around here. Let's see who the
We're
next
gonna have
victim's going to
We're
be.
going to have to jump some gates to get up to these folks.
All right, here we go.
Welcome aboard. We're just introducing our audience here to our audience at home. Where are you guys from?
Kirkton Herder from Orange City, Iowa.
Welcome.
Tyler Harris from Omaha, Nebraska.
Nice.
I'm Zach.
Great. Thanks for coming out, you guys.
All right, I think we missed a corner over here. We need
Did
to go
we?
hit this. Yes,
All right.
absolutely. I know a couple in the crowd, and we definitely got to pull them out. Can't have anybody getting comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
There's Mitchell in his natural habitat.
he needs to glue that thing to his head. Almost. But we gotta get to the important people. We don't care about you. Who are these folks right here? Let's talk to these ones.
Oh, no.
Jay Lane from Elizabeth City, North Carolina.
Oh my goodness! You
That's
came
a
this
long
far to
way.
hit this guy?
Yeah.
That's a long way.
I tell you what.
And you.
And me? Oh well, you know everybody needs Ryan Seacrest.
Bryce Milk in Hedrick, Iowa, about 15 miles away.
All right, well, good deal.
Thanks for joining
So,
us.
so far, North Carolina's been the farthest.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's see. Let's go over and get this guy with the Sasquatch shirt and the bunny ears. I think he's a familiar face. He's even next to a couple other famous people here.
All right. Where you guys from? What's your name? Where are you from?
And what's your baseline?
What's your
baseline? My baseline's solid. I'm Lance Gunderson from Pleasanton, Nebraska with Region Ag Lab. Glad to be here. A lot of good phrases.
He's kind of a
Welcome
big
aboard.
deal sometimes.
I'm Russell Hedrick.
All right, next.
Oh, ouch.
You're gonna get wallered on the floor.
Hey,
here in
this is a
minute.
good dude.
I'm Russell Hedrick from Hickory, North Carolina. I'm here to make sure that this guy behaves, and I'm here to learn about the baseline and what topsoil's got going on. We're going to try to get that in our area.
This has actually became Uncle Russ this trip. So my kids are they're
Not to
learning
be
things.
confused with Uncle Buck.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
No.
And this gentleman right here.
Lance Klessig, and I'm from Lewiston, Minnesota. Oh, yeah, Lewiston, Minnesota. Just here to learn, represent Continue Mag. Get a hat. I told the guys I need a hat to leave. So, yeah.
Very good. Thanks for joining us. All right. Mitchell's getting ready to go, folks. So we're going to let him take the show for now. We'll talk to you soon.
And we're back.
Back again.
Yeah, I reckon. So who is this fella?
Well, I was going to let him introduce himself, but.
You think his name tag would help us?
It's easier for me if you guys do it. Yes, Zach.
Zach?
Zach.
Yeah.
I thought it was Felk. Anyways, why don't you tell us who he is?
I as a farmer from West Central Minnesota, Zach Johnson, co-host of the Fieldwork podcast.
Oh, it's Fieldwork.
Yeah,
Okay, thanks.
with Mitchell, who is Continuum Ag.
Oh.
So I'm down here to learn.
Very cool.
All right.
Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate that. So what are some of the things you guys normally talk about on Fieldwork?
Normally, what we try to do is we say it's a podcast that's by farmers for farmers, and we go through all the different types of management practices that people have had success with and people have had failures with, and we go back and forth and try to learn what works, what doesn't, where do we go from here, and how do we just try and do better as farmers.
That's so cool. Are you implementing anything like the topics you guys are talking about? Is that kind of coming from things that you're naturally trying on your farm, or?
Yeah, so it's a little different because Mitchell is so deep into the soil health side of things, where they've been practicing no-till for a long time. They're working on cover crops. How close are you?
I want him to look at me.
Has he got any food in his teeth? I think he's already been eating.
I did just have a burger and some cookies. So Mitchell is on the soil health spectrum of things. And, we work in sort of we're not in the Red River Valley, but we're very close. We're up towards northern Minnesota, where our soils are really heavy and everything is very conventional tillage up there. And so we are trying to work towards a little bit less tillage, see if we can work that into our rotation. We've been doing some stuff with vertical till. We've been trying some cover crop stuff. So I've got some cereal rye right now that we planted green into, and we just recently killed off. So the idea is that will hold some water in it, some water retention, and hopefully help knock some of the weeds back.
One of the conversations that we just heard from our panelists was about scaling. And I think the question of how do we scale something like this is even more important than how do we integrate something like this. And Zach, so can you tell us how you have kind of tackled the scaling and integration process?
Yeah, how do you measure that?
I'm still trying to figure that out myself. A lot of people say to start small, start with a few acres. But that's an easy thing to say. It's not an easy thing to do, especially when you have a large amount of acres. And most farms do a really good job of being efficient with the acreage that they're set up for. So when you throw a wrench into the system and you do 10, 20, 30, 40 acres on a 2, 3, 4,000 acre farm, it can take a lot of work just to manage those few acres and try to learn something. And then where do you get the machinery from? And trying to piece the whole puzzle together, because it's going to affect maybe what you're going to do next year, or maybe it affected what you did last year. So it's not simple, but I guess what I'm doing is trying to move slow and trying to figure out kind of one piece at a time. How do I slowly work towards something that's going to work, and how do I learn along the way?
That kind of sounds like the elephant approach. One bite at a time.
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time. I got to ask you one question. It's a really big one. Will you read
Yeah.
this aloud?
What's your baseline?
What is your baseline, Zach?
I don't know how to answer that because I have no idea where you're going with it. So I'd assumed that was the plan,
So that was exactly the plan.
just to make people
I just want
uncomfortable.
you to feel uncomfortable. I
Yeah.
can't get you uncomfortable, but I want you to think about this. We're talking about, how do we take our measurables, data, things like that, and figure out where we're at so we can kind of establish that baseline and move forward. What's working, what's not working, what's the best ROI, what fits in my context of my farming operation. These are the things that I think are huge, because a lot of times we try to overanalyze.
Sure.
I'm really big on KISS. That whole saying's for me. Well, you did this eat. I'll give you. Anybody got a mint? No, I'm just kidding. It's important to know where you're at, because I don't think if you don't keep track, whether that's old school pen and paper, these new kids, these millennials, they don't know what pen and paper is.
They don't.
They don't. So maybe it's shoot yourself a text or something. But if you don't scale where you're at, you don't know where you've been. You don't know how to get through those Dr. Phil rainy days of how in the frig am I going to get through this and make money, and then change things. So
Right.
ask what's your baseline a lot, because I want people to sit and think about that. You know, where you at, where you headed? What have you learned today that, you know, you've probably been wasting time at, or maybe what can I do in the future that I haven't tried yet? So
Yeah. Where are you at today and how do we move forward?
exactly. Thanks for making that cleaned up, because I really just messed that all up. But anyways,
Kiss.
thank you. Can you get a piece of gum first?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, everybody, I'm gonna let you go here. Great opportunity to be with Zach today. A lot of cool things, and I think we're gonna have really cool people coming up next. But anyways, thanks for being with us today, Zach.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Zach, if folks wanted to follow along with your journey, how do they get in touch with you? Where do we find you?
The biggest thing would be on YouTube at Millennial Farmer on YouTube, or you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, the Fieldwork Podcast. I'm everywhere. Google.
Very
You'll find me.
So thank you so much for joining us. It's great to have people like yourself interested, hungry for the change that you could potentially make in your farm and looking for ways to implement it. This is a great networking event, and it's great to see you again.
So we got to give a little shout out. Zach, how was the food you ate?
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And I wish I could remember the name of the people that just cooked it. I'm horrible right now. But anyways, it was fantastic. Just let me hang myself. But anyways, it's Cattleman's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, good food. You know, if you're not here, you should have been. But hopefully you guys will come next year.
Our local FFA chapter served it as well. So big shout out to the kids that are pursuing the future from Washington here. So thanks for that, you guys.
All right. Well, hey, we'll get back to you guys in a little bit. We're gonna go find some more people to make famous.
Go for a little walk.
We're still live.
Let's go for a walk. Let's go find some sponsors.
Yeah.
Let's introduce you to some of the people that are making this program possible today.
Hold on, man. We can't leave this guy out real quick. On our way to our sponsors. Tell us your name.
I'm not a sponsor.
I know, but can you see a
Lance
face?
Blessing, and we're out of Southeast Minnesota,
All right.
Durban.
Well, this guy's a good dude.
Yeah.
You know,
What's your baseline?
What's your baseline? So don't forget that, people. What is your baseline? Thanks for being here, Lance.
You're such an animal.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, who we're gonna go see first? Christy, since you're a smart one, I'm gonna let you lead us.
Well, let's go have a quick chat over here.
This is fantastic.
Wow, it was getting still in that show ring. Goodness sakes.
And windy. People are talking hot air.
So hopefully you folks at home are grabbing something to eat like the rest of us here are. And not getting motion sickness. But I thought we'd just introduce you to a couple of our sponsors here. So let's head back in here.
This guy right here, he wants to talk. Look at him.
It is.
All right. Well, Dylan's still talking. We're gonna get Kelly. So tell us your name and kind of where you're from. I know you came a real long way.
Yeah, my name is Kelly Iggy. I'm from Riverside, Iowa. Didn't come from far. And I'm with Pivot for the first year. I'm interning for them.
So that giant
Kel, thank you for being here. We got to talk earlier. Just really awesome you guys came along. And thank you for sponsoring. For you guys, we couldn't be able to put these things on and really get more people involved. So we'll put Dylan on the spot in a minute. Let's go around here to some of these other fine folks, because I know that they want to talk. They told me specifically earlier they didn't want to. So what that means is, Jeremiah, please interview me.
Right.
And let me tell everybody my name. So I'm going to ask this young lady what her name is.
Oh, I'm Denise from Work at Pivot Bio.
All right. Well, how far did you drive today?
2 hours.
Coffee.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good deal. Well, let's turn to your left here. See this fine lady? She was like, pick me first, but I had to make her wait.
Hey, I'm Sarah Bunch. I also work at Pivot Bio, and we rode together. So it's
Really?
a 2 hour drive.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, good deal. So who's driving back? She is. Oh, that's great. Yeah. All right. Well, Dylan's doing his job. It's crazy. And you show up as a sponsor and tell people about your product. Now I can't even talk to him. So we may have to swing back to Mr. Dillon. But anyways, great people. So glad to be sponsored. Well, let's go ahead and run around back here. While everybody's eating, this might be a good time to get your motion sickness if we walk off our burger we ate. Oh, they were fantastic. Hey, let's go and get Lance. See where we're going next. Cool thing about doing these kind of things is you have no idea where anybody's going to be. So you just got to like spitball it. Like, who's going to be around the next corner? Mr.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see who's kind of in the group so we can.
I think we need to talk about what was said on the panel. And, you know, Russell was talking about, you know, having people that he could call when things go wrong. And, you know, we've always got a support group, and we've found in this, whether it's a peer group or whether it's just other people that are like-minded coming together, kind of the Dr. Phil moments. I'm out there in a minute. About, you know, hey, sometimes I need somebody to support me, or hey, what do you think? And I think that we found through this Topsoil network. I mean, Christy, I didn't know you until I met Mitchell.
Right.
So,
right.
You know, there's a lot of good things that can come from this, and find other people that are like-minded and even doing the same things, or maybe in the same spot you are.
You know what's interesting about that? Zach and I were visiting a few minutes ago about that. I asked him who he's getting help from in, you know, Northwest Minnesota, and he said, "Well, Mitch." And it just kind of puts the emphasis on the fact that there is an interest and a hunger there, and folks that do what you and I do are kind of lagging behind. I feel like the agronomists that are out there right now are interested, but there's like so many barriers to step out into areas that are not your comfort zone, right?
Yeah, and I like to say a lot of times we're all redheaded stepchildren. Okay, at the end of the day, it's that family reunion that we cannot wait to get there. You know, we haven't been able to be in person, and a lot of new faces. Okay, you and I, and other things. When we get back together every time, it's just like a huge family reunion. We can't wait to see each other, discuss what we've done differently. You know, it's like, hey, I got this new pickup truck, right? Anyway, I didn't get a new pickup truck. By the way. If anybody out there wants to give somebody a new one, I'm willing to take donations. Anyways, getting back to that, you know, just having that support, you know, really reach out, because kind of that FOMO, Joe. You know, it's always that fear of missing out.
Right.
This is one of those things I think definitely be missing out.
Well, and I think it goes even beyond the fear of missing out. You're literally missing out on this important, you know, nuggets that each one of these farmers here today has heard something specific to their farm. They're going to take back and implement. They try, fail, succeed, whatever, but they're being challenged, you know, and intellectually stimulated by the speakers. I cannot believe that all-star lineup we have today is unreal.
I can't believe we actually got them to all come together.
It's very humbling. How did we get this job?
You know, I don't know. Big man upstairs must have been putting it together. You know what I mean? Really, I think Mitchell had straws. I mean, we got the short straws. You know what I mean? So,
short straws.
Let's go make somebody famous real quick while we're wasting time. Hey, look at this young lady. Here, she's not even ready for this.
Excuse me, miss.
Oh, wait a minute. She was here last year. Miss Miriam.
How's it going?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing well. Glad to be back.
How's life treating you?
It's treating me well.
All right. How's it feel to get to sit on the sideline this time and not be sweating bullets, stressing out?
It's a lot of fun. You know, last summer I was working pretty hard all day, but I get to just show up and enjoy the show. So.
For those of us at home that don't know who Miriam is, why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Miriam Hoffman. I was an intern for Continuum Ag last summer, helped put on the field day we had last year, and this year serving as a national FFA officer.
Thank you. Congratulations on your national officership.
Yeah, thank you for
that.
taking that opportunity to get after that. So.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, we need to go find some more victims. We've seen you and put you on the spot. We never put the medicine. So, anyway, take care. We'll see you around.
Thank you so much. Take care.
I got just the guy to interview. So we talked about North Carolina. I think this guy needs to tell us where he's from.
San Francisco, California.
So that was just a hop, skip, and a jump.
It was, yeah. I flew to Helena, Montana a couple weeks ago, and have been driving across country visiting regenerative operations like Lauren Steinlage here in West Union. Headed out to Dan DeSuter and Ohio and Pennsylvania after that.
Fantastic. Well, Christian, good to see you again, buddy.
Thank you.
I had to put you on the spot.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Hey, everything we're going to talk to, just remember, those are the things you don't know.
Right.
All right, we'll talk next week.
Sounds good. Thanks for your
If you had to take away one nugget that you learned today, what is something that has really resonated with you so far?
Try something new every year.
Absolutely. There's a lot of risk associated with that. Why do you think people don't want to try something new?
Well, we were just having a conversation about this. From what I've heard, and I'm quite new to ag, but oftentimes your existing crop insurance program will kind of make it seem like you're not going to be able to get as much coverage if you interseed some alfalfa or something or other. Now, I get different stories. Some people say, yeah, I can't do it because of the crop insurance. And I know people like Russell, who was saying that his local RMA agent is super flexible. So I think you still got to try it and just try to push the envelope on
It sounds like a reoccurring theme too down that road is the communication, right? Communicating with your, whether it be your agent or whatever that might be, so that you can stay educated about the parameters to work within, right? Because it's going to be wide range.
Okay, so
Thank you so much
I
for sharing
want
that.
to try to keep things halfway on schedule here.
We'll let this guy introduce himself. I think this may be one of the guys that corrupted Mitchell. So all you back home, I'm gonna let the gentleman introduce himself.
Kevin Kimley. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Good.
So
Had a good day.
I hear you had a portion of Mitchell's life.
Well, no. He walks into my office the second year at Iowa State University, and he says, "I've got a client in South Africa." And I said, "You got what?" And he said, "I do." And he said, "I've got a question for you." And I said, "What?" He said, "Do I want to get paid in South African randers?" And I said, "No. What I want to do, get paid in dollars." So this is the great insight that I brought to Mitchell in the very beginning.
Well, hey, we're so glad you came out. I'm sure you're glad to have you for support. But keep doing what you're doing, making differences. Tell the story.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, let's talk to this lady. She's got a drink of water.
Hi.
Who are you? Where are you from?
My name's Eleni. I'm from Minneapolis. I work with a company called Recro. So we're here sponsoring and exhibiting today.
Well, fantastic. Well, throughout this process so far, is there anything that is going to be a take home for you?
Lots of take homes, but that's because I'm a bit newer to the ag space. But focusing on soil health, the inputs to it and not the outputs to it is something that I think a lot of companies especially will take away. There's so much more of a focus on the care and time that needs to go into it before you even start thinking about what comes out of it from a profit perspective. Very
Well, hey,
true.
Thank you for letting me put you on the spot. Glad you're here.
Sure. Yeah, thanks.
Hi, everybody. A lot of good things going on here. We're going to go to our next session, but I wanted to circle back and talk with Dylan if he's got a second here. So let me see if I can spin.
Can we just snag you real quick?
Sure.
So Dylan, I'm going to let you put your information out there, okay? We try to talk to you. You're doing a great job doing what you do, and that is tell people about your business. So if you would, just kind of talk to viewers who you are, where you're from, what you guys do.
Yeah. So my name's Dylan Lumen. I'm the Eastern Iowa sales manager at Pivot Bio. I'm from Radcliffe, Iowa, just north of Ames, north of where our office is there in Ames. Pivot Bio is a nitrogen producing microbe. We're a company that produces a nitrogen fixing microbe that goes in furrow with corn plants. And in turn, that microbe creates a symbiotic relationship with the corn plant, and it continues to spoon feed nitrogen throughout the growing season to the plant. So that's really in a nutshell what it does. It spoon feeds nitrogen throughout the growing season. The corn plant really needs it most. It's a much more sustainable form of nitrogen. It's very predictable. It's not susceptible to leaching, eutrophication, or runoff, or anything like that, like other forms of synthetic nitrogen. So that's really the main benefit from it. Our goal is to see guys to reduce their synthetic fertilizer use. That is the end goal with our product. As guys reduce their synthetic fertilizer and rely on our microbe, they can continue to see increased yields by doing so. So that's really what we're about.
Dylan, thank you so much. If it wasn't for the sponsors like you guys, now I'm talking about products, other benefits. You guys help do this sort of thing.
Yeah. No, thank you for letting us be a part of it. It's been great.
Appreciate you sharing what you guys are up to. And we'll get a break after your presentation here in a few minutes ago, and we'll.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right, well, guys, hey, we're back, and I'm being real sneaky because she's not wanting me to talk here in a minute, but I'm going to sneak over here. And you guys heard Rick talking about this beautiful bride he has, Rick Haney. You're going to get to meet her. Hi, Liz.
Hi.
So I was just telling everybody that this is Rick Haney's beautiful bride, and that we were going to sneak over here.
The better half.
Okay.
No, better 3/4. So, Liz, you and I met a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Huge impact. Just the community, the willingness to help people. And first of all, I got to say thanks on my behalf and what's done for me and my business and the people I work with. But today, you know, you guys got a pretty cool thing you guys did as a family. You want to talk about it?
Oh, yeah, we bought a RV on Tuesday and loaded up and drove all the way up here.
I mean, you even brought the 4-legged furniture.
Yes, we have 2 dogs, 2 kids.
So
Family.
it's awesome.
And I got my new Iowa hat.
Yeah, look at that. Now you know how to spell it. Good job. So, anyways, you can see that Zach over here is trying to corrupt her, but and Lauren Steinlage, right behind her, behind the camera here,
We're getting her change of address card filled out.
Oh yeah, they're trying to get it removed. But you know, now she's on wheels. All she needs is a PO box.
Right.
We've got hookups on our front lawn.
That's what we need. So,
Come July, she's gonna use them.
Yep.
Liz, are the girls getting in any of these sessions, or are they kind of hiding?
No, they're hiding. Yeah.
Do you think they get that from dad or mom?
Both.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I would say that.
Yeah.
Is there a take home from today? I know Mitchell and his continuing ag families has kind of really gotten close to you. What do you think the take home from today so far is?
I think everybody's just really excited to finally get to be together and see each other and have real conversations in person. And there's a lot of questions about soil health and measuring and testing and data, and I think there's a lot of good conversations going on.
All right. Well, Liz, we had to pull this out.
Thank you.
You know I was going to do it.
Awkward.
Always. It's got to hashtag Durban. It's fine. Anyways,
What's your baseline?
what is your baseline? My baseline is to be here to help people get to people that know things.
Anything about this equipment setup that looks doable for your operation? Anything that looks interesting
Hold
that
my
you can
tool.
scale?
Well, I'd have to talk to Lauren about that. He would be the brains behind this thing, as far as what we could use this for on our farm. Right now, no, but looking to the future, maybe killing off ryegrass with it. Maybe, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, it could be something that could wipe out like a ryegrass that we would plant green through, right?
Yep.
Without knocking out the soybeans.
Yeah, that is the intention. I mean, we can run in crop. First case, we got to help you get the cover crop established right.
Yep.
That's kind of our current mission. Me and Mitchell, we're more than willing to help do that stuff. And then once we get that tackled, then we'll start trickling and tweaking from there. Try to figure out, help them little aspects. You've heard it all day here about reducing inputs and stuff like that. For me, when I start talking inputs and that, I don't have a shopping list anymore. I realized a couple of years ago, I don't matter to the co-ops. I don't matter to the Nutrients of the world and stuff like that. Because, sorry, I don't use their number one products and stuff like that. I'm to the point where I use base rate products, pretty low rates, just because we're managing it with biology and cover crops. And until you get there, you got to take your time, ease into it. And that's where we need to, it's fun to watch Zach start to make progress. So.
It is fun to watch. And it's fun because you have a voice and a platform. And that's something that the regenerative community, I think, has really lacked, So very cool to have you part of that Fieldwork podcast and representing a more conventional approach and showing people how you're transitioning. It's very cool.
Trying anyway. Lauren's been good. He's been really good to talk to as far as being open to helping me out and stuff.
The biggest reason what I see going on at an event like this is the positive attitudes versus what some of us are seeing right now in the social media world, and that all the negative aspects going on right now, that's not solving anything. Look around here. Everybody's helping everybody out, tweaking. Hey, you need to see this guy. You need to see that guy. That's how you make progress. Negative aspects, throw them out the dang window. Don't go to that church. Let's go to this church.
Could you call us soil health tweakers?
Oh, now we're talking.
That's our new baseline.
I mean, you just said we were tweaking, so I just want to make sure for the public we understood what you meant.
Would that be different than birds that are
Twerping. Twerping. Well, it's like going to twerk.
when you go to twerk?
Yeah, and you go to twerk, sometimes you hear the birds twerking.
I don't want to see the twerping.
Do you think this red tractor would
Oh,
fit the
twerking.
I think it would fit.
I mean, you think it probably collect dust and what to do?
Hey,
would it make it there is the question.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I survived. I drove it down here this morning. I survived.
You drove it down?
Yeah. From Mitchell's.
Okay.
This is the horror collection.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, well, guys, we got to let them go. Thank you.
Thanks for your time, guys.
Thank you right here. We're soil testing. Yeah, we're soil testing. Hey, what do you think the baseline of this place is?
The baseline of this place, I think it's to show beef steers.
I think so. Well, Ryan, did you tell us where you're from yet or what your name is?
I don't think I have. I'm from Delaware County, Iowa. 2 hours north of the Hoorah farm.
Now, which way is north? I'm trying to figure this out.
Well, if you hold a compass like this, the N is on the top.
Oh, so it's like reading a book.
It's like reading a
Top
book.
to bottom, left to right.
Left to right. That's
Okay,
exactly
okay.
correct. You nailed it.
All right,
Yes, sir.
fantastic. Well, what brought you out today, Ryan?
Well, it brought me out here just to learn more. Plus, I knew some people that were going to be here, meet some awesome, great people, and learn a few things.
Well, what's your biggest take home right now? If you're like, you know what, one simple thing with all this coming in, because it's kind of like drinking out of a fire hose. There's so much coming into it. What is something you're going to go home and maybe do a little more research?
Multi-species in my cover complex. I've been a cereal rye guy. Last year, I tried a few mixes, but this year I want to diversify it more, talking to some people about different things they're using, that's working and not working. And I'm excited to try some new mixes and build up nitrogen in my soil organically. So that and relay cropping. I'm going to try relay cropping next year.
Chris, do you have anything for Mr. Ryan?
Yeah, actually, I was going to ask you a question. We visited, I think we were visiting with some other people earlier, and I heard you mention, you know, kind of how you got into this, and it sort of started with getting hungry for podcasts and or via podcasts. So, is the Fieldwork podcast?
Oh yeah, I listened to that one.
Okay.
I'll be on the road like I was for plant season. I was on the road for 4 hours going to get wheat sweets for my planter, and I listened to 2 episodes of Fieldwork and some financial advisory podcasts. And so, yeah, I always started listening to Fieldwork, where I actually picked up a couple of companies I ended up contacting for information that they actually interviewed. So I actually learned a lot and got a good connection and got some business.
You brought up a good point. You know, a lot of people have combine seeds, plants, spraying seeds. You know, we got radios in our equipment. And I feel like